All right, now we're going to see a demo of the recent ALMComplete 9.6 and kind of looking at some of the agile things we just talked about and other new features.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'll give you a quick demo and overview of ALMComplete and how it works. We were talking a little bit earlier about the Forrester study, the WAVE study that came out last year. About 35% of teams are using Agile development, and the other 65% are doing other methodologies like Waterfall. So we wanted to make sure that it was important that no matter whether you're using Agile or Waterfall or whatever methodology you embrace, that you're able to use our tool without being unencumbered by any problems. So one of the things that we've done is we've made it very easy for people to use it with whatever methodology they decide to use. Now, whenever you're looking at ALMComplete, it normally starts here in the requirements phase. So no matter what methodology you're using, you're going to be managing a set of requirements. And in Agile, those are normally called user stories. So the way you can do it, if you're using Waterfall, you would just create a release folder here for the entire release, and then you can place all of your requirements in there. If you're using more of an Agile type methodology, you can break those down into sprints. Now, when you have a sprint, you can have a set of user stories that you're actually going to be working on for that particular sprint. And you'll see here that you can also estimate your story points and other things that are related to Agile.
And who would you say is who's the user at this point?
Yeah, from the requirements perspective, if you're using kind of a waterfall type environment, it's going to be the traditional business analyst. If it's more on the Agile side, it's going to be the team. It's going to be the Scrum Master kind of removing the impediments, but it's going to be the team and the product owner that comes up with these requirements or these user stories. Now, once you have a set of requirements, you can then take those and place those under project management. And you can take a set of requirements and decompose those down into tasks. And that's where this project management area comes in. There's a little wizard that allows you to read your set of requirements and then place those underneath project management. Here's a release that we're working on right now that we're just finishing up this sprint. And you can see where we've taken a specific requirement and we've broken that down into lower level tasks that various people on our team's working on, and we can see percentage complete. So this would be kind of the Scrum Master view of what you're seeing from the project management side. One of the things that we were talking about earlier was this new idea called the task board. And the task board is a place where you can see all of your tasks that you've been assigned. So it's broken down into three areas. It first shows you a to-do list. So this shows you all of the items that you haven't started yet. The in-progress area shows all of the items that you're currently working on but not 100% completed with. And then the completed area allows you to see all the things you've completed for a particular time frame.
And so are these to-do things like these are tasks that have been assigned to the individual looking at it, whether they're a programmer or a QA person or whoever else?
Yeah, exactly right. So let's say that you're a developer and you're working on a requirement and you figured out that you have 5 tasks associated with that requirement. Those become really task board items on this screen, and they'll appear initially in your to-do list, and then as you begin posting hours to those, it'll automatically move over here into progress. And then once you complete them, you can even take it and just drag and drop it, and that will then complete that item.
Oh, so you don't actually have to manually move stuff to in progress. It's just tracking when you somewhere else have said you started working on something.
Absolutely, and you can complete them right here from the screen with drag and drop.
Right. And then is this are there sort of team views of this as well, or is it more just for individuals?
Yeah, what you can do is you can look at this across all your products. So you can see I have a number of different projects here. Well, I can very quickly move between different teams. For example, I can look at the Austin team over here. I can look at our business unit. I can also drill into a particular plan. So I can say, well, I wonder how this particular sprint's going, or let me look at everything more as an aggregate here.
Okay. Yeah, you know, we've lowered the resolution for this video, but I've noticed someone gave me an interesting idea the other day that monitors have huge resolutions nowadays, and it really, it's interesting to think of how you can take advantage of bigger resolution monitors.
Yeah, absolutely.
that we're used to spatially display things like this, and even like projecting it on a wall or something would be kind of an interesting use, just to have that that information radiator we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of teams, a lot of agile teams will do. They'll have usually a daily stand-up that usually lasts about 15 minutes. And at that stand-up meeting that they have every day, they'll just forecast the project plan or their task board right here on the screen and work on it just to make sure they can remove any impediments during that meeting.
That makes sense.
All right, so that's the project management area. We talked also earlier about some metrics and those kind of things. How do you keep these projects in line? That's where the dashboard comes in. And the way the dashboard works is you can first analyze how much work you've given each person and then how much work they're reporting they still have remaining. And that's what this particular dashboard here is. It's showing how much work this particular person's been given for this sprint and then how much work that person is reporting they still have remaining left.
Right.
And then the other thing, we were talking a little bit earlier about simplifying whether you're on track or not on track, and that's where these burn downs come into play. In fact, we're working here on Sprint 2, and you can see the ideal line. This red line is showing, oh, okay, day by day, if we work on this, our effort should go down by this way. This green line here is showing you what people are reporting is what they have remaining left to do. So I can see today that I should have, by the end of the day, about 39 hours remaining, but my team's reporting we have about 85 hours, so we're slipping just a little bit. So this particular line here will show you exactly where you're at in that process.
All right, they need to have another one of those dramatic downward slopes.
That's right. We've got to start, we got to get into a requirement bash here and move that down a little bit.
Right, right. And then what's the other chart on here?
This one will show you kind of the overall status. So it says that by today we should be, with the coding portion of this, 100% done. We're reporting that we're about 86% done.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of shows you more in a visual way.
Oh, so it's sort of breaking down the different components
Yes.
of the overall project and reporting on that.
Yeah.
Huh.
The other cool little thing that we have down here as well is we have the ability to look at tasks that are slipping. So if you've identified dates that you want to have specific things done, you can actually see if a person starts to slip in that process so that you can kind of work with them to get them back on track. So that's kind of a neat little feature as well.
Yeah, and so I mean, I imagine, you know, the team or whether it's the Scrum Master or whoever, they can kind of come in here and find the problems that need some help accelerating into non-problems.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with Agile is it's really all about removing impediments, things that are causing rework or lost time because people can't move forward. And that's what tools like this allow you to do is it allows you to identify those impediments and remove them.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's always seemed like a nice realization of Agile is we're not trying to discover things going wrong to punish you, but to make them work out. Because we all want to deliver the release in a good state at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely.
You know, our core job isn't to tell people they're doing a bad job.
Right, exactly, exactly right. One of the things that you can do to really empower your team to better collaborate is to allow them to post discussions. And we have this area here called collaboration. And you'll see this area here called discussions. Well, you can come in here and you can create these forums. In fact, I have a forum here for this release that we're working on. And you can see people are posting their daily reports so that others know what's going on. So as we mentioned earlier, we have remote teams. We have a team over in Russia. And each day they're posting into here exactly what they worked on. And this allows everybody to have visibility as to what's going on. And it also allows us to detect any impediments and remove those so that people aren't blocked.
Yeah, no, it's like we were saying, it's nice to have people actually communicate with each other.
Absolutely.
And have the tool facilitate that rather than some wacky email thread or something like that.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, so finally, like after seeing all of this, I mean, you mentioned earlier that this is provided as a SaaS, or I think you also have an on-premise version for people who want that. But so if people are interested in this, like how can they sort of kick the wheels or try it out or start using it?
Yeah, absolutely. The best thing to do is just go out to SmartBear.com, and from here you'll see a little item here called ALMComplete. You simply click that, and there's a free trial right there, and that'll give you 30 days, unlimited number of concurrent users to actually kick the tires and play with it.
Yeah, it's a nice effect of SaaS things I've noticed recently is I think people are going to forget the phrase proof of concept.
Absolutely.
it'll just be try.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the really cool thing about this too, even with your free trial, we have connectors with other tools. We connect with source control systems, like for whenever you're when you're fixing defects, you can tie those to source control that you fix so that you can see that traceability. And we also integrate with other ALM tools like HP's Quality Center and other tools. And you can even do that during the free trial stage. You can download our connectors, see how it works with Jira or whatever other tool you're using, and all of those pieces will seamlessly work together.
So you can do a full proof of concept.
Full proof of concept. Absolutely.
Well, great. Well, thanks for going through that demo with us. That was good to see.
Absolutely.